Welcome to Inside the Yankees. I'm Nancy Newman. We kick things off with reliever Fernando Cruz as he teaches some local youth some valuable off-field lessons. Later, former Yankee Clay Holmes talks about his view from both sides of the Subway Series. Also, we visit one of the Bronx's most prestigious high schools, Cardinal Hayes, and we take a trip to see culinary innovations. Fernando Cruz has been a reliable arm out of the Yankees bullpen in his first season in pinstripes. The lifelong Yankee fan is living out a dream since being acquired this offseason. Last week, Cruz had the chance to visit CS55, a public school in the Bronx just a few miles away from Yankee Stadium. He had the chance to address the kids and to deliver an important message.
It's more important for me doing this stuff than anything else, because I think at least one word of what I'm gonna say is gonna stick with you your whole life. I think this is more important than anything else in my life, to give back to kids. My biggest message today for you guys is for you to think about your dad and your mom and your dad. Your job as a kid, as a human, is to honor them, to respect them, to listen to them when they say something, when they say no. Listen to them, honor your dad and your mom. The best message you can have is to do that is just a promise from God that if we honor our dads and mom, everything's gonna be fine in our life. You're gonna have success and everything's gonna be fine in your life.
For the children, it's very important for them to hear how important our parents are in our lives. You know, for a lot of our youth, they get lost in the world, and the only people that they have are their parents quite often. So it's very important to be reminded that your parents will always be there for you, and you have to find those opportunities to bond with them and build with them, no matter who the parent is, right? It could be an uncle, it could be a grandma, it could be anyone. But whoever that adult is in your life that is guiding you, to respect and value them and honor them, right? Because it's about honoring them as well.
George Steinbrenner himself used to visit the school and provide resources over the years, and it's something that's been an important legacy for the school.
It means a lot to be able to come here and do it for the boss, like we used to call them. I mean, it's just a special day for me, being able to do the same thing he did. It's my first school that I visited in New York. Just make it even more special.
It's an honor to know that George Steinbrenner visited our school. Then we've had Hank Steinbrenner come in. It's just an amazing thing to know that the Yankees are heavily involved in our community. And not many people know about it, right? Because like George Steinbrenner once told me, if too many people know what you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
I was in the streets in Dorado, Puerto Rico. Imagine this moment, people looking up for me in New York. Now 15, 20 minutes away from getting to Yankee Stadium, get dressed to be able to be ready to help the team win at 7:05. It's just something that would never get old for me and my family, and whoever's close to me knows what it means and how special it is for me.
We are taught that it's better to give than to receive. And by him giving back to the kids, he's receiving things that are immeasurable. You can't put into context, you can't put an amount or measure what this means and the impact that the kids have in Fernando's life.
So having Fernando Cruz come to the school is very important. You know, our children, learn about the different cultures of the world, and to have a young man from Puerto Rico, come in and he's playing with the Yankees now, come in to speak to the children, and a guy who values family is so important for our children to learn from him and to actually experience the great things that he brings, the great values he brings as a young man.
I am with Mets starting pitcher Clay Holmes. Clay, you spent 3.5 years here in the Bronx. You walked in the other day as a member of the New York Mets. How odd was it for you to walk to the visiting clubhouse?
Yeah, I didn't really know where I was going. I pulled into a different spot. There's different doors I walked through. I wasn't sure which way to turn in the tunnel, so that was different. And just finding my way, just around the the clubhouse. It was the first time I've been over there. It was different, but you step on the field and a lot of things feel the same. So it's good to be back.
How much do you still talk to some guys in that clubhouse?
Yeah, we got a lot of good friends over there. Still keep in touch with a lot of the bullpen guys. Some of the coaches. So I mean, you spend that much time with people, and you go through kind of what we've been through, and you develop really good relationships. And I think just to see them do well, catch up with them, it's been a great time.
Prior to this, the last time you were on this field was for the World Series. When you look back at your time with the Yankees, what stands out to you?
The last time I was on this field was for the World Series, and it just took me back to a lot of memories, and there's just a lot I can be grateful for, and I am grateful for my time there with the Yankees. And I think just playing for this team, the guys in the clubhouse, and getting to experience the World Series, and really just it's where I took a lot of this next steps in my development. The sinker, I learned new pitches here. I mean, it was a place that I really kind of took the next step forward, and it's something I'm appreciative of. Look back on with a lot of gratitude, and like I said, it's nice to be back and think back on some of those.
Hey, you talk about that development, a new challenge for you this year. You're a starting pitcher. How did that whole conversation come about, and how quickly did you buy in?
Yeah, there was a couple weeks after the World Series. There was some small talk, kind of with my agent about would there be any interest. There's some teams maybe have asked for it, and it kind of got me thinking that. Maybe I could expand my arsenal, and maybe this could be a real thing. And so we kind of explored it more, and soon we found out that there was going to be a real opportunity. So I had to make a decision, and I added the sweeper here with the Yankees. I added a new pitch, something I enjoy doing. I just enjoyed that part of the game, and I feel like it would be a new challenge, and something that I feel like I could do as far as expanding my arsenal, and just to have the ability to do that, to kind of move to the starting role, on a winning team was really an opportunity I couldn't pass up. And so, I'm glad that, I had the opportunity, and, I'm getting to, really just stay engaged with, just the pitch design and who I can become as a pitcher.
Also added a kick change, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that pitch. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably midway through the year last year. I started messing around with the changeup just in the bullpens pregame with some of the guys down there. There's quite a few good changeups we had last year, and it was more of just messing around. And I found out that I probably could throw a changeup. Found a grip that seemed to be working, and something I just played around with throughout the second half of the year last year. And it was one reason why I believed I could become a starter. And as I went into the off season and knew this was going to be a thing, I was looking for ways to really enhance that. And there's a few guys that started kind of spiking the middle finger, with the changeup, and so I just figured to give it a try. And it was something that's kind of really took the changeup to a little bit, better level for me, and it's really been a pitch that I can lean on against, lefties here. So it's been a nice addition so far.
How validating has your early season success been in the decision that you made?
I mean, I knew I had it in me, and I still think there's kind of more to go. For me, there's this transition is it's more than just 6 weeks here, but it's definitely been off to a good start. The body was responding well, which I think was a big part of this. Just getting used to the routine, letting the body feel, the 6 day, the 5 day, building the routine out and letting the body adapt to it. And I feel like that's been the big thing so far, and it's been adapting well. So I think it's just a matter of kind of building on that and building on what we've been doing. But it's nice to be in a good spot right now, and look forward to kind of where we take it the rest of the year.
How do you manage the workload as the year goes on?
It's one of those things where I'm not really, trying to put a cap on things. I'm not trying to, figure out a number that, we should stop at or go past. For me, it's just, each time through, let's evaluate where we're at. We have measurements and things we're looking at just to make sure they stay within range. And if the strength's good, the body feels good, I'm in a good spot, then we're just going to keep going. And until something tells us that we need to recalibrate, we will. But right now I'm feeling great, and I'm just treating it like a normal starter.
All right, David Cohn's in our booth, and he needs to know, where are you having more fun, as a starter or as a reliever?
Man, they're so different. I was so used to showing up, every day like this. You're working through the day to build to this, moment at the end of the game, and every day you're turned on, and it's taken a little bit to turn that off, but they're just so different. I think I really enjoy the aspect of the planning, the preparation, the analyzing of the starter. But man, there's nothing like running out, from the bullpen, the close game, and just the excitement and the drilling you get from that. It's tough to beat. So I enjoy both aspects, and I think I'm slowly adjusting to kind of turn things off and enjoying the off days right now.
Golf game getting better?
Definitely. I've played a lot more golf. I say that's one big plus of the starting. So taking a few strokes off the golf game.
Welcome back to Inside the Yankees. In this edition of Bronx Beat, we spotlight one of the Bronx's most prestigious institutions of learning, Cardinal Hayes High School. Dedicated in 1941, the school has notable alumni from Regis Philbin to former NBA player Jamal Mashburn.
Cardinal Hayes High School is a very, very special place.
It's a school that is committed to excellence. It's a place where you learn to grow up and mature and become a better version of yourself.
Cardinal Hayes High School is the school that makes the concourse grand.
The school was opened in 1941, right at World War II.
Hayes has been around for 80+ years. And, I think there's definitely been a change in the students that attend the school. Back in the 50s and 60s, it was very heavily Irish and white, and now Hayes is more black and brown, but they all kind of still have the same characteristics when you run into them.
The students definitely make it special. You got kids from all over New York City who just come and they want to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves.
Hayesmen are special. They bring you unique energy, they bring you a unique vibe, and when you walk through this building, though you have different backgrounds, there's all one identity of being a Hayesman.
The school is big on brotherhood and community, so you may not be the best in class, you may not be the best in clubs or sports, but you'll always have somebody to support you to become that better person.
The typical Cardinal Hayes student starts out as a freshman, really as just a young boy, trying to figure out what's going on.
When I first came to Cardinal Hayes, I'd say I was a little bit lost. I didn't know what I really wanted to do in Cardinal Hayes.
Young men from the city come in, don't really know what their path is going to be, and they leave Hayesman. And when you leave as a Hayesman, you're confident, you're aware of the world, and you know it's yours.
I think it's a pretty short ticket that if you come to Hayes and you stay the 4 years, that college is going to be an availability.
I think I have about 19 offers right now.
Every single one of our students applies to college and gets the opportunity to go. They're accepted.
We have kids at multiple Ivy League schools right now, and that's really it. It's just seeing these young men get given an opportunity and seizing it.
We provide the young men of this area hope, opportunity, structure, and a safe space for them to be and to grow in different facets of their life. Just besides the education, I think we offer an awful lot of programs that either other Catholic schools don't offer or the public schools don't have.
Before they leave Cardinal Hayes, all of our students will receive a financial education.
What stocks, bonds, et cetera, would you recommend to someone just starting out in this class to invest in?
We're the least expensive private school in New York.
We wouldn't have had any success if not for, the angels that have kind of flew into our lives around here and have just helped support us, help support the kids.
The reality is we are a private school and it does cost tuition to go here, but we're also a mission-driven school and we want to be able to provide the opportunity of Hayes to everyone.
And it's due to the generosity of our donors, our alumni, our friends, our board of trustees, some local businesses, local corporations we've started to engage. The return on investment is unbelievably huge.
We are a proven commodity. We have changed kids' lives. We continue to do it. So if you want to support something that's, not going to be gone in 2 years, that's not the flavor of the month, if you want to support something that is just keeps having success story after success story, year in, year out, over 81 years. Well, that's Cardinal Hayes High School.
This neighborhood needs us, and we need the neighborhood. So every day it's a challenge, to just meet those needs.
Well, we are in the poorest congressional district in the United States. We got to figure out ways around it. It's part of the lessons that you learn here is how to be resilient.
We didn't have a track. We were running in the hallways. We broke the state record running in the hallways. And then, as if that wasn't enough, those same 4 guys went outdoor and they won the national championship in the 4x2 and broke the 4x2 high school record at Haywood Field.
We were the first city school to win a state championship in its class in football, and we don't have a home field.
Your circumstance never defines you, so it was just something we overcame.
We consider ourselves sort of like the Yankees of high school education. We're successful, we're gonna keep being successful, we're gonna keep grinding.
Cardinal Hayes is so important. It's a beacon of hope in this community.
The school's a family. You just see people who care. And in today's society, when people are, punching a clock and it's not really cool to care, this is a place that still cares.
I think this school is special because of the community and the teachers. Honestly, they've made my journey so much easier.
Most definitely matured, but I've also learned a lot about, what it means to be a part of an active community here.
The school has really created my entire academic foundation.
I can't speak enough for how proud I am for how great our young men are.
The SK Club is our new premium hospitality space. We're always trying to make the experience better for the fans here at Somerset Patriots. And this year we're all about focusing on increased hospitality. We've got a lot of new food options on the concourse. We finally have an excellent New Jersey pizza option from a local pizzeria, Prima. We have tacos, which are my personal favorite. We've got excellent chicken sandwiches. Family has always been really important to the Somerset Patriots. The team was founded by my father, Steve Califer, and when we were trying to come up with a name for this new space, it just made sense to call it the SK Club, because SK is not only the initials of my father, but also the initials of my mother. The real joy for us is watching the fans watch the players on the field. And when the fans are smiling and they're happy and they're having a good time, it's like a grand slam for me.
Hello again, everyone. Jack Curry here with another edition of Jack's Packs. I have some baseball cards in front of me. That makes me very excited. And I hope that when I open a pack of these cards and find a player with whom I can tell a story to you about, I hope you'll be just as excited. We're going to go all the way back to 1987 and open up this pack. As always, they included gum in the packs back there. Public service announcement, do not eat this gum. It is close to 40 years old. So let's see who is going to be in this pack for us. We're starting off with Steve Jeltz, an infielder for the Phillies. Larry Herndon of the Tigers. Floyd Yeomans, he's wearing an Expos jersey here. Joe Cowley in a White Sox uniform. Glenn Davis of the Astros. Aurelio Lopez of the Astros. Paul Zuvella of the Yankees. I'm pretty sure Bob Shepard, the PA announcer, used to love saying the name Paul Zuvella. Russ Moorman of the White Sox. Jeff Robinson of the Giants. Juan Nieves of the Brewers. Come on, guys, I'm waiting for my card here. Craig McMurtry, who's a pitcher. Wait a second. We've got Reggie Jackson. This is a turn back the clock card. So they did a nice job with that picture. I like that a lot. Roger Craig, who was a manager of the Giants, but he's also known as one of the pioneers of the split finger fastball. He helped David Cohn with his splitter. We've got Gary Templeton with the Padres. We've got Tony Bernazard, an infielder who later became a baseball executive, including with the Mets. John Morris with the Cardinals. He was a Seton Hall product. Danny Tartable, not wearing the Yankee uniform here, but had the chance to cover Danny with the Yankees. We've got to go back to Reggie Jackson. And I don't have one story about Reggie Jackson. I pretty much have a compilation of stories about Reggie Jackson, because Reggie Jackson is one of those former players and people, you always know that he's in the room. And I love the way that Reggie carried himself because of the success that he had had. And I remember interviewing him during the 2009 World Series because of what Chase Utley was doing against the Yankees and the home run prowess that he had showed in that World Series. Well, if you think of home run prowess in World Series, who do you think about? You think about Reggie Jackson because of what he had done in the World Series. 3 homers in 1 game, 3 different pitchers, and to be able to do that, you should walk around like Mr. October. And that is what I always think about when I have the chance to share baseball stories with Reggie Jackson. That when the light was at its brightest and when the moment was at its most intense, Reggie Jackson said, "Let me step up. There's some damage I think I can do."